DJ Grip. Motherfucking deal, nigga. Niggas watching talking from the bleachers. The move about 1,000 in my Mexican meters. Grew up on biscotti flips with plugs and eaters. Bags and start piling, got juice by the liters. Ain't no talking on the phone here.
We're at the third episode in the Sicc life. Today we got a legendary artist, producer, entrepreneur, my cousin, Austin Martin.
Hey, what's happening? What's up? What's happening, man?
You don't know how hard it is to get this guy's time, how to get this guy out the
man.
studio, off the hustle, man. So I'm very, very pleased to be able to get him in today. And we're going to get straight into it, man.
Yeah, man.
Austin Martin.
Yes, sir.
Man, it's so good to have you out here with us, man.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah. It's a pleasure, bro.
It's been a beautiful journey watching you grow, man. I remember the first time really seeing you blossom on stage and really seeing you in the big production. I think it was like with Big Tex and, you know, the Clean boys, the Houston boys, the Texas boys, man. Now we both out here in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
How's it feel, man? How's it feel to be on that couch, man?
Man, you know what? It really feels good, man. It really feels like it was yesterday. I don't know if it's just you, but it really feels like it was yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Like it really happened. It feels like it happened fast, but it's like the fastest 10 years that I've ever experienced. You know what I mean? So I really feel like, and it's the same thing for you too, bro. You've grown so much. You know what I mean? I feel like we've been just, at a steady pace for so long. Some of the only people who have just been at that constant, steady pace, but at the same time too, like we haven't stopped because there's still so much we need to accomplish. You know what I mean? So it feels good, but it's also something to where I steady battle my yesterday achievements, you know what I'm saying, every day. Like, so that's what it is. Like, I'm still not comfortable. That's what I love about being in LA, because I mean, we were just talking earlier, like, as soon as you get comfortable, next thing you know, boom, a Rari come down the street. You're like, oh, no, I ain't comfortable no more. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no more comfortable after that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, coming out of Austin, Texas. So is that the original birthplace?
Yeah, man. Originally born out of Austin, Texas, man.
Capital
Brackenridge,
Texas,
man. You know what I'm saying?
Horns,
Yeah, hook 'em horns. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, man. That's it.
Man, that's beautiful. So yeah, coming to LA. Before we get to LA, let's take it back to the beginning. You know, what do you feel like at the beginning of this race? With yourself, because of course it is nobody that I know that can compete with you in a lot of different areas, you know what I'm saying? At the beginning of this race, what do you think that kind of got you off the porch and into this positive direction? Because you always been a dude to kind of stay out of the bull, you know, ain't never really been no confrontation. If it's ever anything, it's a whole bunch of hustlers. So what do you feel like that gave you the motivation to end up into these type of situations of complete success now, you know?
I always had, I think, a way bigger amount of just fear and failure. You know what I mean? And that's what just drove me nuts. You know what I mean? Was the fact of imagining myself failing. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I was like, nah, I just can't do that. So a lot of people aren't willing to sacrifice the nows, the comfortabilities of the nows and those things. You know, I remember, literally living in a $600 a month apartment, like stressing, like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? I got to pay this rent, but I also got to catch this flight, you know what I'm saying? But, I got to figure it out. But the thing that kept me going, they kept me getting up early, they kept me staying in the studio longer, they kept me making extra beats, they kept me making an extra hook or whatever it was just like, bro, I can't fail. Yeah. And at the end of the day, too, I know that, there might be some people who I can lean on, but what if I couldn't lean on those people? You know what I'm saying? So I have to be, and I ended up having to become the person to lean on. You know what I mean? So that's why it just ended up, being like, hey, man, I just can't settle. I have to be able to say, all right, I need to be able to get up every day and strive to make this mark right here, bro.
Exactly. This marking into this culture, into this legacy, into this real hustle when it comes to entertainment, because where we come from, it ain't no handouts.
No, zero.
Yeah, zero handouts. And like coming from Austin is like one of the least opportunist cities to be able to kind of rely on the city for this, or got the radio station helping you, or got all of these different attributes that's kind of helping you blossom and flourish with the quickness like I've seen a lot of other people in surrounding cities. So yeah, man, big salute to you. Now it's a situation to where you have multiple occupations. Talk to us about what Austin Martin what consists of an Austin Martin week in different occupations. I know you're managing. I know you know what I mean? You're of course, amazing engineering. You didn't produce almost my whole career.
No, for real. So, boy, I got all my hits out. We got all the hits out the laptop. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it started, you know, with production, you know, doing a lot of production for, you know, a lot of the up-and-coming artists in Texas. And working like that and just really, you know, taking the advice that I had learned from a lot of the big producers that I had the privilege of just kind of shadowing or being in the studio, just ear hustling in the background, you know, not being a nobody. But some of the biggest information that I always got, you know, you can have, you know, a track, you can have a hot track, but it's nothing until somebody puts words on it, you know, usually when it comes to like breaking an artist. So like if you want to break beats, you got to break it through an artist. So, you know, I just, you know me, I was just burning up the local grind, you know what I'm saying? It didn't matter. Like, you come get a beat from me for $100, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's just come through, you know what I'm saying? Let's just make, but the music was at such a quality that it started making a name for itself, you know? And then at the end of the day, I had to start, you know, other things as well. It's like, all right, well, I can do the production, but you know, I'm not finding people who want to record, or maybe I can't afford the recording. So shit, I'll lock myself in the room and just learn how to record. You know what I'm saying? Learn everything I could about Pro Tools. Went to Sweetwater. I had some credit at the time. Went and got everything, microphone. You know, next thing you know, I got 10 people every other day coming through and recording at the crib. You know what I mean? Just from learning that. Then I take that process and learn how to do that. And then I was like, all right, well, I need to start, you know, now at the end of the day, like shit, I might as well just start rapping. You know what I mean? Like I might as well just start doing what I'm doing, because at the time I was making beats, and some of the times I was giving these beats to these artists, and I'm like, man, they not really doing what they supposed to do with the tracks, or they're like, man, I don't know what to do with this track. I'll pass on. I'm like, what do you mean you pass on? That's hard. How you pass? Hey, you know what? Let me go ahead and show you what I would do with that. You know what I'm saying? So then it just took it to, you know, doing the artistry thing, and then the artistry thing, you know, it did pretty good. And then I ended up going from artistry to being someone in the artist corner, you know what I mean, and get into kind of the administrative role, just because of the fact of, you know, it's just like imagine a club, you know what I mean? It's like there's a line wrapped around the corner for people that are trying to be artists, trying to get into the door, you know what I mean, trying to get into the success door, but there's help wanted signs for administration all day. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so I'm like, hey, you know what? Instead of just trying to fight through the crowd and do all this, I'm just going to adapt another skill set and work my way around to the back door. You know what I mean? And do that. And then by doing that, that's the best move that I ever made. ever, hands down. Ever could have did, because you not only get to learn the process of what it really takes, not only strategically, but on a professional level, you know, on a corporate, you know, on a industry or a 500, you know, Fortune 500 level. But at the same time, too, you get to take your skills and the things that we've learned on the road and talents that we've developed, and be able to kind of help issue in other talent, man. And once you can do that, even urban accountability, there's just not a lot of people in that space that can say, you know what, how can you take an artist from A to Z? Or if we give you this budget, you know, are you going to be able to ensure that, you know, these things are getting done? And it's just, it doesn't happen, you know? So that's a space that, you know, was very welcoming, and that's where I'm at right now, for sure.
Your record label's dream, being able to create the beat, record the song, write the song, record the song, master the song, get out there and shoot the video, because I seen your videos.
Oh, yeah.
And I seen your edit game on the video.
For sure.
That's why I got you booked here.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
So we at 6-7 already, man. That's great. About this cook up though, man, like, cause the beats is something different, hit different. I remember my first track was Ask About Me, and then it went on My Own, and it was like, that's when my career started. You know what I'm saying? So I thank you on the show for being the reason why my music career was able to make some bread. You know what I'm saying? It was them beats, it was them hooks, it was that stuff you kept on dumping on me that got me out of the melee. You know what I'm saying? So I really appreciate that. But when you cooking you in there and you in the kitchen and you really whipping, what's really coming to mind? What's really going through Austin Martin's body? Because it's a different type of energy.
That's it right there. See, now you tapped into that, and it took me a while to kind of figure out what was really going on. But it's really just like, I just feel like my body is just like a channel. You know what I mean? Like I'm just the device that the energy is just circulating through at the moment. You know what I mean? So just like any other tool that's inside the studio, if it might be a keyboard, if it might be an instrument, a guitar, whatever, I'm just channeling or using like even the artist is using me as an instrument in order to get their idea out. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm the conductor, you know, like I'm just the part that's going to help them establish and put their vibration into the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that shock was crazy because it's like I scanned through my songs, and even today, people will go back to On My Own. They'll go back to your songs where you done made the beats, and it's like it hit. They be like, it hit different.
It is, man. It's just it's a different type of energy.
Yeah, it's
you know what I mean?
Harder.
It did. But the thing is, I tell people too, is that in those situations, that's why I never usually like to send tracks to people, because the magic doesn't work the same. You know what I'm saying? Just because, but like, you have to be in there with the creator. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm sending it across, like, you're losing half the energy. You know what I'm saying? So people be like, man, you want to send me a pack? I'm like, I don't know. Because, let's make it, because it's different. I can do the same boom and kick clap in front of you, and it's going to feel completely different. And then the energy that you give off and you put onto that is going to be completely different than you just hearing it through random phone or listening to it, or you hearing it by yourself. Like, damn, I couldn't think of nothing. Yeah, because it wasn't supposed for you to be thinking about that by yourself. You know what I mean? It was supposed to be a co-creation. So when you co-create, that's why, you know, the biggest producers in the world, the, you know, Pharrells and the Dre's and all these people, you know, all the people who have timeless records, you know what I mean? Like, think of the Motown days. Like, those people were creating in the studio from scratch, from nothing, you know, from air, from the ether. If we're not grabbing it from the ethers, now I don't think it's just going to be eternal. I don't think it's going to be forever.
Yeah, it's
you know what I mean?
One of those ones, absolutely. So with all these different hits and creations, who you feel like has done justice on these Austin Martin beats? Like, who's some of your favorite artists that you produce?
Damn, that's crazy. I would honestly, I got to give you your flowers on that. No, for sure, just because of the fact. Now you do, because but the thing is that it also takes the person believing in you. You see what I'm saying? So you, like I said, you can have a person, you can give them, you know, 5-10 tracks, or you can give them a banger. You know, there's plenty of people. I can tell you way more people who I'm dissatisfied with than I can tell you that actually did what they were supposed to do with the records. You know what I'm saying? But I would say you were definitely a person who was like, bro, I have an Austin Martin record and I'm not taking it for granted. Like, I'm going to put it in everybody's face. I'm going to perform this as much as possible. I don't care what you doing. You get your ass up on this stage. Like, they already got it set up. Don't you worry about it. The crowd already there. Just come and do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing that's always been the deciding factor. Is like, all right, well, you can have, like I said, you can have the best product in the world, but if nobody knows about it, it's non-existent. It doesn't mean anything. So I say definitely you, for sure. And then another person who really took a record and just did not stop pushing it and really did something with Baby Bash when I did that Roller Coaster Ride record for him. And that was honestly like something that came out of left field. Shout out to my boy Chingo Bling. He, you know, pitched that to me. Chingo, man, for y'all who don't know, a Texas legend, really a legend worldwide, you know, in the Latin community, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, he single-handedly, you know, broke a lot of records in Texas. Was one of the first people to really have a deal with Asylum back in the day. Like, he was going crazy. You know, he has a crazy comedy special that, you know, he's been putting out for the past something years on Netflix. Like, he did his thing, though. I just was working in Austin one day when my boy had the studio, and ended up building a relationship with him, and that was actually one of my first big placements. He heard some records that I had, and he was like, yo, Baby Bash just, you know, did this deal with Universal. Man, he's looking to finish out his album. He's like, bro, this record you got, I got to call him right now. I ended up calling. He called him. Was like, yo, I got this producer here. This dude, Austin Martin. Like, actually, by then, I was going to buy OC. I was going to buy OC's groceries back then. Yeah. I was going to buy OC's groceries back then. Yeah, the grocery basket. You know what I'm saying? So, he was like, I got this dude, man. You got to check out this track. So, I remember I had 4 tracks on there, and they were all hard. You know what I'm saying? All of them were hard. They all had beats. They all had hooks on them. And he was like, bro, I'm about to leave the studio in like 40 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, is he going to be able to make it? It was all the way on the other side of Houston, bro. Ran every light. Long story short, so I got in there, and he was about to leave, and I was like, bro, you just got to hear this shit, I promise you. He's like, man, fuck it, just put it in. So I put in the first, I put in the CD, and he heard the first track, and it was that Roller Coaster Ride. And as soon as it came on, he was like, yo. He was like, yeah, I'm going to get that right there. Like, I'm going to get that immediately. Like, he didn't even, I was like, bro, I got like 3 more you need to listen to. He's like, nah, that's it. He's like, that's it right there. And went straight into the studio, recorded that boy, and it was a wrap after that. That was my first big industry check. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's great, man. So, man, that's a great story too, because it's like Chingo and Baby, like they was some cats that always like helped a lot of people.
Man, big time.
Yeah,
I got so much game from them, man. It's crazy, bro.
Those type of people, because it's like without those influential people, Texas can't become what it became.
Yep.
And it's definitely a breather for the industry.
No, real talk, man. Shout out to them. Shout out to Big Head too, man.
Yeah, Big
Head.
Head.
Big Head. Yeah, you know, for real. You know, he was managing both of them.
Yeah. Zeros.
Everybody kept us on tour. He put us on 100 shows with Baby Bash, man. Shout out to the real ones, man.
Definitely. Who else do you consider like real influential from home? You know what I mean?
Like from Texas, or just from like, or from Austin, or honestly, you know, I think, you know, another person that people really sleep on is Kyle Lee. Yeah. You know what I mean? I feel like he did a lot for San Antonio. Not a lot of people were talking about him. Shout out to Question too. You know what I mean? I think they did a lot out there, you know, as well from that. Shit. Honestly, too, you know, I shout out to, you know, TSF, Sauce Walker, and him, because he, you know, it's just keeping the name alive. You know what I mean? It's keeping Texas alive. Shout out to, you know, 1501. You know, Carl Crawford, they doing some great things out there too. You know what I mean? And shit, we gotta shout us out too, because we doing a lot for our community as well. You know what I'm saying?
Setting the bar definitely for Austin, Texas. You know, and I try to, you know, how many shows I threw out there and how many boys I put on stage, man.
Nah, real talk.
So
real
talk.
Just
like, who would you say is your favorite that's still down there in Austin?
I mean, of course. I mean, I got, you know, we got to shout out Queen. You know what I'm saying? Like. That kid right there, you know what I'm saying? I ain't say that young man changed my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, because it came down to a point to where, you know, at the end of the day, everybody from a smaller city always wants to be the person who makes it. You know what I'm saying? The person who pops first, or what are the top dog. You know what I'm saying? But I realized a long time ago, you don't become the top dog until you really get behind somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't really become a mogul until you can make somebody. You know what I'm saying? Or you can help somebody get there. And a lot of people want to be up front instead of being in the back. And that's where I learned, like, the biggest positions are the people in the back. You know what I mean? So by him allowing me to play a position on his team, you know, that's what took my career to the next level, by helping somebody else. You know what I mean?
Was locked in with 10K?
Yeah, that's locked in with 10K Projects. You know what I mean? At that time, you know, 10K, you know, they had the hottest artist on the planet, which was, you know, Tekashi 6ix9ine, you know, and Tekashi, you know, like I said, you got Tekashi, Trippy, Ian Dior over there. And like I said, at the time, you know, he was the hottest dude on the planet, you know, but despite, this was before all the other stuff happened or whatever, but it's even crazy. Like I was about to say, he came back and is still literally probably one of the hottest artists on the planet. Definitely numbers are probably the highest, man. Not gonna lie.
I just seen a show with him earlier today in Miami, and it was like Super Bowl numbers.
Listen, man, hey,
Tekashi got Super Bowl numbers. What's going on with that?
Man, listen, hey man, listen. At the end of the day, I don't got a dog in the race, so it ain't really got nothing to do with me. So I really see it as entertainment, man. Like, hey man, young man, turn up, do your thing, like stay out the streets. You know what I'm saying? Get away from the streets. You know, just sticking to the entertainment. But I feel like, hey man, you can't really fault the man for doing his entertainment. You know, you can, you know, fault him for doing whatever he did on that side or whatever. That's not my thing. But as far as I'm judging the entertainer side. Because I'm not in the streets. Yeah, I'm not in that. So I got nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? But as far as entertainer side, I mean, shit. See, his report card stand for itself. Shit, look at his numbers. You know what I'm saying? Look at the show. Remember, shit, out the woof, man. Shit, man, you can't deny that, man. But I think at the end of the day, too, a lot of the biggest problem when it comes to artists, when it comes to individuals, is that people just need to mind their business, man. They ain't got nothing to do with you. Ain't got nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like the song, turn it off. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to look at the person, guess what? Unfollow them. Scroll off. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Easy work, bro. It's easy.
And it takes a lot, I think, you know, as young black individuals to hold that. Yeah. It's always easy to point the finger and this cat did this and this cat is this. He's a snitch. He's this. He's a broad. He's this, that, and the other. Mm-hmm. It's like, isn't it a broad type of man that is constantly judging another man instead of being focused on you? yours, and then
Man.
after you and yours, then what else is there? It's the future of you and yours.
That's it. That's
Ain't
it.
got nothing to do with what was going on. But as far as entertainment, it's like this is what God put us, people like me and you, out here to do.
Yep.
So, you know, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for entertainers. We're looking for producers. And
Yep.
we're looking for cameramen. And we're looking for everything to build magic.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
So in this world today, where do you think that Austin Martin is headed, since it's a machine that's sitting on his couch right now? You know, I understand completely, because it's work later on today, it's work in the morning,
Oh
it's
yeah,
work
for
next
sure.
week.
Oh
So
yeah,
it's
it's
in
nonstop.
this machine we call Austin Martin.
Mm-hmm.
Where is he headed?
It's heading to just, I would say, the conveyor belt. You know what I mean? Like the ultimate conveyor belt. I'm not gonna lie to you. Assembly line, conveyor belt. You know what I mean? Like literally, it's factory, and how many factories can be set up at this point? It's also about duplication, and we were just talking earlier. You got to duplicate yourself, man. Like you can't just hold all the game. You got to give the game back. You got to give the tools back. You have to give the knowledge back, because you're gonna want to sit down from building. Eventually, you're going to want to put the hammer down. You know what I'm saying? Put the shovel down. You got to hand it to somebody else, man, and hold the blueprint. And then you try to hold the blueprint. You go give that. That's it.
G right there is passing that game. We talked about that
Mm-hmm.
on the DLB, the first segment. You know what I mean? It's just like, don't let the legacy die with you. You know, keep building it and build that conveyor belt.
That's it, bro. That's it, man.
That's it. It's gonna keep on rolling.
Mm-hmm.
So talk to me about out here in LA, because you know it's a whole different breed of hustle out here.
It is.
How does moving to LA advance you as an entrepreneur, as a creator, as a habitual hit cooker?
Well, you know, LA just has a different frequency to it. Just as far as creation, as far as vibration, you have to think there's a reason why a lot of, you know, the top creators, the top directors, top just entertainers in the world, which is gravitated to this area. You know what I mean? You are able to be amongst the likes of creators, amongst the likes of individuals who believe in the same things that you believe in, who don't think that these dreams are outrageous because these dreams have turned into reality in front of these people. Inside of some of the places that we come from, usually there's not a lot of people who can show the process, or who have seen it, or have come back to tell the tale. So those people don't really see it as something that's believable, or something that's you know, obtainable. But like you say, when you're here and you walk outside and you see the Ferrari, or you see the star, or you see this person, or you see the director, or you see this, then you're like, hey, you know, I know that it's here. I know this is possible. You know, it allows you to dream a little bit bigger. You know what I mean? It's hard for you to imagine yourself in a mansion when you're only thing you see outside of your window is a brick wall. You know what I'm saying? But even if you walk outside of that brick wall and you're looking at palm trees and you're looking at this, or you can even take a trip down the street and get into a whole other reality, then you're able to manifest a different reality.
Yeah, and that manifestation into that different realm is actually what you have to do to become it.
You do. You have to. You got to. That's what they say. They call it faking it till you make it. But it's not fake. It's imagination, right? You have to imagine yourself, and you have to do those things. Like even if you're playing basketball, right? Like you're going to imitate, you know, whoever it might be, a Michael Jordan, or LeBron James, or you know, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. Like you're going to do these things like until you figure it out, right? You know what I mean? You're going to walk like it, talk like it. Like, hey, I remember for a long time, like I wasn't really a businessman, but still I was going into 18, or you know what I'm saying, the clubs and stuff with a suit on, you know what I'm saying, a tie with some, you know, $500-600 Robert Waynes on, you know what I'm saying. But just because I'm playing the role, I have to play the part. But guess what? It's gonna have people speak to you differently. They're gonna approach you differently. They're gonna respect you on a whole different level. And eventually, that role that you're playing ends up turning to that person that you're gonna be.
Exactly.
That's it.
That character that you once thought was the character you were trying to be is now become you.
That's it.
And it's not the character that you were imagining, because it's you in the position that makes you now the person that's turned into the great.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Transformation.
The AME camp, the AME Army, the general. You know what I'm saying? what's going on with our guy Tyler? What is it? Lepley?
Oh yeah, Tyler Lepley, man.
This guy's amazing.
Oh
He's
man,
under
listen,
the wing of
man,
what's
listen,
going
man.
on with
Hey,
that, man?
you know,
Queens, Tyler, man. We got
man.
Kid Franks and
Hey
stuff.
man, oh man,
What's
listen.
going on with Tyler? Because Tyler look like he could be the GQ model of the month. He look like the next guy that's gonna be on Fast and the Furious. Like
Man,
my guy's got a lot of things going for him.
man. Tyler has been on the grind, man, and he's been working. Funny story is we actually had a mutual manager at one point in time. My boy Kobe, who's doing some amazing things right now too. Gatsby, aka Gatsby, and we were back in Atlanta on my first push when I had my single Wake Up, and he was actually on, I think maybe like the second season of Tyler Perry's The Have and the Have Nots, and out there, you know, Tyler Perry is everything. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. You know what I mean? So in Atlanta, you know, on that, you know, him playing that role, Benny. You know, we would walk into, doesn't matter if you walk to the corner store, you go to wherever, he's just getting mobbed by people, you know what I mean? But, you know, you talk about like another person who has really pushed the Austin Martin brand, like as far as taking the records, taking the sound, and really getting behind the sound was Tyler, because he was one of the first early believers just in me. When I was out there on tour, like literally, he was super popping, and people would try to come up and take a picture with him. He like, yeah, hold on, wait, that's cool, but you can't take a picture with me until you take that CD. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up, man. He was doing that. Like we passed out like 10,000 singles. Like went state to state. You know, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, everywhere. Like we still have the you can go look it up, the Making Up an Icon stuff on YouTube, and you'll see old footage of me, Tyler. Like I said, like 7 years ago, man. You know, on the grind and pushing that stuff, man.
People in a way different type of position, being in film and being in movies and TV shows. He got a whole different platform, and still yet can find it somewhere in himself to believe in his brother. Man,
that part,
that's a different type.
That's the thing, and especially now, you know, he did what I think 11 seasons on the Have and the Have Nots. He's doing P Valley right now, which is literally the #1 urban show. It was #1 urban show last year. They just got picked up for 3 more seasons. Working on season 2 right now. People don't know. Also, he just finished shooting a show called Harlem in New York, co-starring with Megan Good, and Tracy Oliver, who did Girls Trip, is actually producing and directing this through Amazon and Universal. So this is going to be actually probably, I hate to say bigger than P Valley, but it just is a different side. You know what I mean? So he's really going to have 2 shows on at the same time while he's doing his music. You know, we already have, 3 projects that are out right now. He's dropped about 4 visuals that were out. The last project we actually did to go with the actual season finale of P Valley. You know, we did The Power of the Pink. I produced every track on there, you know, top to bottom, everything on there, recorded everything.
Going to the grave is
no, I'm telling you, man, like straight up.
That's rocking with you like I've been, because I've been, man, look, I yelled on mics, I told people, text people, I'm still to this day. If it ain't Austin Martin, you talking about some producing?
Hey, what? Listen, you gotta come over here this side, man, straight up.
Absolutely, man. We know we got Kid Franks, we got, what's the new guys you got out of San Antonio?
Oh, yeah, so, you know, we got Kid Franks, super phenom, young dude, man, crazy. Vocalist, you know what I mean? We got a lot of stuff planned for him coming up, man. We just left the studio earlier today working on his project. He's gonna be he's the secret weapon, you know what I'm saying? You know, shout out to my boy Sicc, h.e.r. That's gonna be I can't wait to get him a check. I can't wait to get him a check off that. You know what I'm saying?
I knew when I heard him in the back of a studio, and I was like, man, this kid has got a whole aura that's far more advanced than I need to be dealing with right now, because he's the type of situation that you want to kind of stop everything that you're doing and fully focus on him. But recording at the beginning of someone's career to where they have a beautiful catalog, the best mixing, the great beats is what's going to make him into the Drakes. It's going to make him into legendary. I can't make them beats. I cannot record. You know, I'm going to keep it 1,000 while I got somebody for you.
I got somebody for you, though.
Over there, get you signed on and get you right. And he's been over there with him ever since. Yeah. It's great. And we have the Piff Boys, man. I like the rap rock thing. You know, I've always been a big rock fan. I'm seeing what you're doing with them. I seen a video the last couple of days that was completely amazing. And you know me, I'm always wanting to give back to the culture, give back to the community, give back to this thing we call hip hop. And you're doing the same thing and have been for a long time. So I salute you, salute the Pit Boys and all these people believing in themselves. Because, you know, we're not really going to be dedicating a lot of time to things that aren't great. If it's a natural great, we take it upon ourselves, especially being black men, to step into the world of these youngsters and be like, I'm gonna take this great that I got and put it with this great you got and watch what happens.
Yeah, exactly. That's great. And we got Gabby, Annalise, you know what I'm saying? We got Gabby. Oh, she's out in San Antonio too. Yes, yeah, in San Antonio too. You know, she's killing it, you know what I mean? Young Latin female artist, you know what I mean? Hopefully we can make her you know, next Selena type joint, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? For real, I really think that she has something great. You know, she's getting into acting as well. She does makeup and stuff too. She has got a big TikTok following. Like she's gonna be a super mega star. You know what I mean? She's gonna be a mega star. Then we got Diego Money, you know what I'm saying? Out of Dallas, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly, you know what I'm saying? Exactly, you know what I mean? Like he's one of those ones, you know what I mean? Like literally from Dallas, Texas, that came out here and, you know, did songs with the famous Dexes, did songs with the Rich the Kids, you know what I'm saying? Toured around the world. The kid's crazy, man, and he's like really like a young Texas legend, like a young Texas icon, man. You know what I mean? For sure. And then we got
still real enough to be right where he came from, and then pop back out.
Exactly, yeah, straight up. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. You know what I mean? Straight up.
When you think about Diego, you be like, he's the same guy.
No, straight up. You know what I mean? For real. And then we got Timo too. You know, Timo is a artist out of H-Town that I'm working with on my partner. On a label that we created, Timeless Entertainment, and through that division, that we're doing some great things out of H-Town with that, you know what I mean? So that's something that we're focusing on, you know, as well as, you know, what we're doing with your company as well, is, you know, really building an imprint for Texas, man, and being the connections, because that's another thing too, you know, a lot of people be like, well, man, you're not in Texas and it's because at the end of the day we don't have those tools yet. So until we have those tools there, we have to be the representatives that are here and go back and forth and bring those things from here and actually end up connecting those dots and connecting that bridge. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Because honestly, if you don't have Lill, Sicc, and Austin Martins out here making a way for these people, it's going to be hundreds of thousands of them that dreams are lost because they don't get the proper knowledge to be able to get off the block, to be able to stay out of jail, to be able to make it to anything considered a dream. You know
There's no blueprint.
Yeah, you need a blueprint. You know what I mean?
And then at the end of the day, seeing is believing. Yeah. So me being even a young person, or even not even necessarily a young person, me being someone who's going to invest in myself, or being someone who's going to follow somebody, if I can't see that you've done it, I'm not going to follow you. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen you do it. Yeah, so you can't tell. That's the new age. They're not trying to hear it. They're trying to see it. Nah, bro. Nah. If you don't got it, how you gonna show me how to get it? Exactly. That's how they think about it. So that's why it takes the making sure, and at the same time too, a lot of these people at the end of the day, they're just starting out, so they're not willing to sacrifice coming to LA, paying $3,000, $4,000 a month for rent, paying $4.50 for gas. You know, it costs $7,000 to $10,000 a month just to be here. Just to be here. We're not talking about no clothes. We're not talking about eating no steak. No. We're talking about just to be here. You need to go.
And that's minimum.
And that's just to live comfortable somewhere else. Like in Texas, that would only probably cost you maybe $2,000 to live like that. You know what I mean? But these are the things that, like I said, we have to step in those ways. We have to go explore, beat down the path, beat down the trail, and then go back and give the map. You know what I'm saying?
Hand them what they needed.
That's it.
Because that's what other people did for the different cities and the different places as well.
Give them the roadmap.
It took somebody to step up. And luckily, it was some help. I had some help.
And luckily now we giving them the roadmap, and we giving them the canteen and the lantern too. Here you go. Here you go your map. When it gets dark, you turn on your lantern. Here you go.
To the Hollywood Hills.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Just like that.
Get you a couple little bit and take it back home if you want to. But until you have a way to get to the water, you can't drink.
You can't drink. You don't know which way to go. Where are you gonna go?
Yeah, man. So yeah, man. Before we wrap it up, man, any more shout outs? Anything you want to send back home before we go?
Man, yeah, definitely. Man, it's a whole bunch of shout outs,
so
but
many,
it's a man, that's a lot of them. But if you know you repping AME, I shouldn't have to shout you out.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? This whoever's repping AME, you know, I'm shouting you out. You know what I mean? Straight up. Oh, you know, I definitely got to give a shout out to my boy King Solo for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Just somebody who I've seen now, you know, go from an artist really going and working on his icon status now. You know what I mean? He's got a great, you know, company out there. He's, you know, building homes and, you know, doing a lot of stuff. So that right there. And then we actually got his project coming out too. We got a new series.
Shout out King Solo,
Gotta shout out to him, man.
Go all the way back like 4 flats.
You know what I'm saying?
You and Ice
B.I. too, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Ice
Grip,
Bizzle, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, DJ Grip, you know what I'm saying? Nah, straight up, you know what I mean? And I just think that, you know, like I said, the conglomerate and everything that we're doing is going to put these next, you know, Quins and the next, you know, even like the Two Stones, you know what I'm saying? I got to shout out the Two Stone because, you know, that's somebody who we have, you know, seen just not only develop in his own right, but at the same time, did not let the game or the knowledge go to waste. You know what I'm saying? It's like we have, think of like I told you all the time, I could tell you a lot more people who didn't do what they were supposed to do with it than did. You know what I mean? So people like that who was really sitting around or were around, and a lot of people, like I said, were in position but never assumed a position, right? People will be around you, but never want to help, never want to do anything, never want to lend a hand. Like I said, Boosie said the best, like, hey, man, if you see somebody working or you see the main person working, bro, if you're not bringing nothing to the table for them people, you can't complain about not eating. Eat what you can, and you can't, you know what I mean?
So don't get anything you want to from me because he's right there.
Yeah,
right there. On every phone call, every situation. Like I taught him everything I know, and he wasn't worried about being the biggest rapper. He's worried about doing some rap, staying in the industry, being a good support system, and finding his way.
That's it.
And then it's like I said, whether we hand you a microphone, a keyboard, whatever we hand you, as long as you find your way and whatever you end up being in this industry, we salute you.
That's it, straight up.
Everybody doesn't have to be the front man.
No, you don't, bro.
It takes 30 people to make a front man.
Listen, I went from the front man to the back man happily.
Two Stone, happily. Man, gas up the car, motherfucking backup scene, then have his own song on the set. No, don't complain. Got something on it. It's like really.
But guess what? All those 12 things that you mentioned all come with a check too.
Exactly.
Because that's what people don't get. You know, they focus on one thing where they could be doing this, and this. Okay, I could be getting 10%, 10. That's 100% right there. You focusing on this one thing, and it's not trying to be the man. No, sir, that's not it. You know what I'm saying? Instead of trying to be the man, find the man with the plan, and y'all develop some more plans, and just keep passing that over.
Exactly. We want to reciprocate making the man. Reciprocate making the plan.
That's it.
Reciprocate everything in the industry that creates a positive check and keeping a positive aura. That's why I like finding Junebug and having somebody like Two Stone to run around with.
No, straight up. It's perfect. No, straight up. You know, with the energy, you know what I'm saying? And you put the energy with the right game, the right guidance, and the right knowledge, and that's what you do.
These are offsprings of us, man.
Come on, man.
And like I said, whether we get 5 or 50, at least we save some lives.
So off top, you know what I'm saying? Hey, that's it right there. Sure did, guaranteed.
Yeah, ours ain't gonna go down the water well and you know down the pipeline, man. We're gonna do what we need to do. But yeah, man, we're gonna go on and wrap it up, man. It's episode 3 with my boy Austin Martin. This is completely legendary, man.
Yes, sir. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Hey, man, I appreciate y'all, man. We signing
Let's
out.
go, man.
The Sicc Life.
The Sicc Life, man. Hey, y'all know what it is, man. It's your boy Austin Martin, man. It's the Sicc Life. Yo, let's go, baby. We out here, you know what I'm saying?
ATX with the motherfucking business. DJ Grip. Motherfucking deal, nigga. Niggas watching talking from the bleachers. The move about 1,000 in my Mexican meters. Blow up on biscotti flips with plugs and eaters. Bags and start piling, got juice by the liters. Ain't no talking on the phone, hit LAX and greeters. Play with me